Hi, welcome to Fanboy Critic, our show where we go see new movies out in theaters and give you our review.
Both the good and the bad. I'm John Ortiz and I'll be your fanboy.
I'm Sam McClure, I'll be your critic. This week on Fanboy Critic, we went to go see Madam Web, directed by S.J. Clarkson, starring Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney, Isabella Merced, Celeste O'Connor, Emma Roberts was in it also, and Adam Scott and Carrie Bechet. And I don't remember the name of the guy who played the bad guy, and we'll probably never see him again. And if you don't know what Madam Web is about, I don't think I really do either after watching that, but it's part of the Spider-Verse that's not technically the Marvel Spider-Verse, it's the Sony Spider-Verse. She got spider powers, kind of?
Yeah.
All right, Jay. S.J. Clarkson. I don't know if that's a man or woman, but it doesn't matter. What did they do well making this movie? You gotta pump it up.
I think that the best part about this movie that really carried it is the main character, Dakota Johnson. I think that's probably the best part they did with the whole movie was building her character and like kind of building the layers of wanting to know more about her past, you know? And yeah, I think she did a really good job with that. Dakota Johnson was great. All the other girls were so. I think there was just one that kind of stuck out, and it's Sydney Sweeney. I don't know what they were doing with her character exactly.
They didn't know.
Yeah, I think in Euphoria, you kind of think she's just like already a dumb blonde there. But this, they were just like, can you get even dumber? Like, I don't know what it was. They just gave her character like no life, or she can't act. Maybe she can't act. I think that's what it's starting to be. She can't act either.
I didn't say it.
The villain. I mean, he was fun for a moment, and it just kept getting worse.
Oh, anytime he had to talk was the worst.
Yeah, you know what it was? It was the lines were, his lines were terrible. They were just like, yeah, let's give them all punchlines, and every single one did not hit for the.
I think on the whole, most of the acting was okay.
Yeah.
Okay to good. I think Isabella Merced did a phenomenal job. I think she's actually genuinely a good actress.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota Johnson did a good job. The script was just terrible. The script was just fucking terrible. It was bad. And like either they didn't have a script and just started shooting and were throwing out lines the day of, or they just somebody up high just okayed a terrible script. The editing, the post production stuff wasn't that bad. It was actually like pretty decent. But the writing was so bad that the entire theater was laughing at lines that were not jokes.
Yeah. At one point, I felt just really bad. Like
I felt bad. I felt bad for them having to say those lines.
Yeah, that too. They're actors. They're professionals.
Like I really want to see the main villain, and I can't remember the actor's name. And I want to see him in something else because they just gave him the worst possible lines that you can give. It was just the worst lines that you could write for a human being, and he had to say those and try and be menacing and like make his character make any sort of sense. And honestly, they just shouldn't have. He was menacing and cool when in the few moments of action or minute, when he was like being menacing and tormenting. But when he had to talk, it was just the exact opposite. The cherry on top of this shit pile. That final scene was the final two scenes, because the hospital scene and then the return to life or becoming the full Madam Web was so bad.
Yeah.
It was like every single line, like even the intermittent line, even the lines that connect other sentences, like the nonsense lines, they were.
Even Dakota Johnson looked like she just wanted to laugh at those things.
I know. They
like, no one's gonna take me serious. I don't need to act anymore.
I know. They probably shot that after the whole thing, and she was just like, whatever. Oh, I don't have a ton of great things to say.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Jay, try and convince the critics out there to go see this movie.
Critics. I mean, we are in I say this all the time, a spoiled world of superhero movies. And we've seen such great, films. Why not try to see one of the worst ones? Judge it. Be a critic. We've seen the best villains, you know, Joker, Thanos. This is possibly one of the worst villains. That's something you've never seen. Go check it out.
Was this really a superhero movie? Nobody had superpowers. Nobody really had superpowers except for like the bad guy.
The villain, yeah.
And then Dakota Johnson kind of has a little bit of superpowers. But nobody else had superpowers.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
All right, fanboys, this is an affront to comic books, superheroes, good movies. Let's just say art as a whole. This insults art. This is bad. You have better things to do with your time. Oh, all right, Jay. On to the ratings. I know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been pretty transparent about what I'm gonna vote. What do you think about this?
I think I'm angry. I'm very angry about this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
It had your girls in it. Your favorite
I
actresses.
know, and I think
Emma Roberts,
yeah.
Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, I
three
think-
of your all-time favorites.
I think that's why I'm so angry. I mean, the cast was great. Those girls are great, and they came up with the worst story ever. Didn't utilize them. I mean, how do you have a cast that good and like just drop the ball? And yeah, I didn't get no kind of satisfaction from this movie. And the real reason I'm angry is I was late to this. I should have just never showed up to the movie.
You weren't even that late though. You
Yeah.
came in right at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I could have been later. I could have just not shown up.
You didn't miss anything. But if you didn't show up, you also wouldn't have missed anything.
But that's where I'm at, fanboys and critics.
All right, I'm just at it. I'm not actually angry because I heard that this was going to be a terrible movie. From every single person that I've seen it and reviewed it was like, this is bad. They're not wrong. I will give it a crap. This is a crap movie. All right, fanboys and critics, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, go to the Discord, check out our Patreon, and do all the awesome things that I know that you're definitely going to do. You're at this point in the review. And check us out next week for Driveway Dolls.
And we'll see you for the next video.
I think they're looking for another Morbius movie where they get to re-release it.
Morbius is still the worst.
I never fully saw that.
I fall asleep every time I try.